Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. We're unpacking the ultimate crisis survival guide, but we're not just looking at it as a regular old emergency manual. No, we're looking at it as a heavily layered digital asset. What actually happens when you smash together growing global anxieties with the nuts and bolts of digital entrepreneurship? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today.
Right off the bat, we're hit with a heavy theme of war, financial collapse, and global disruption pulled straight from the product's sales page. It absolutely captures those psychological hooks, right? The source material leans hard into the headlines we're all seeing every single day. It captures that very real feeling that, hey, crises aren't so rare anymore. They're kind of becoming the new normal. But as an explainer of this source material, we're going to look right past those dramatic skies and focus on the mechanics humming underneath.
So, rather than panicking, let's pivot. Let's look at this purely from a business perspective. Disaster preparedness is projected to hit a mind-blowing $234 billion market by 2026. Yeah, billion with a B. This number represents a massive cultural shift. We're not just talking about fringe groups building underground bunkers out in the woods anymore. We are talking about mainstream, everyday suburban families stocking up their garages. And that staggering financial figure, that's the main engine driving the digital asset we're reviewing today.
To make sense of this intersection between global anxiety and digital entrepreneurship, we'll break our analysis down into 4 parts: the preparedness boom, decoding PLR assets, inside the survival guide, and marketing the crisis niche.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the preparedness boom, mainstreaming crisis readiness. We'll see how survivalism shifted from extreme to mainstream.
This quote from the sales copy really hits the nail on the head. Most people don't struggle because of the crisis, they struggle because they weren't ready for it. It perfectly sums up the product's core, accessible philosophy. The sources explicitly state that people don't want a motivational speech right now. They want frameworks. They want to know exactly what to do when the power goes out for 3 days or when supply chains suddenly snap. This idea pivots the whole conversation away from pure fear straight into actionable, level-headed readiness.
And that brings us to the product itself. It's a 200-page guide packing 200 essential tips designed specifically for people caught off guard by everyday, modern crises. It's got this clean, professional design that positions it as an evergreen guide. That means the advice inside isn't just reacting to today's news cycle. Instead, it focuses on fundamental preparedness, stuff that applies whether you're facing a severe weather event or a sudden economic downturn.
Moving right along to Section 2, Decoding PLR Assets, the Business of Preparedness. We need to understand the lucrative digital marketing machinery driving this entire thing. This isn't a book you just buy to read, it's a product you buy to sell.
Okay, in plain language, this product is actually a private label rights asset, or PLR. What does that mean for you? Well, it means marketers can purchase it, slap their own logo on it, and keep 100% of the profits. Literally, 100%. It's a vital concept in digital content creation. If you run a finance blog or a family safety channel, you don't have to spend months researching and writing a crisis guide from scratch. The PLR license gives you full authority to claim authorship and instantly serve your audience's demand.
This completely blows my mind because it illustrates the massive leverage at play here. A marketer can buy this completely done-for-you guide for just $13.05. $13, and that taps them directly into a multi-billion-dollar niche. The microscopic barrier to entry makes the business strategy incredibly obvious for digital entrepreneurs who want a piece of that massive, growing market we talked about earlier.
But the content still has to be good. The credibility of this particular PLR stems from its creator, Francis Oshoko. His track record is wild, with over 19,000 verified sales. That strongly indicates we're dealing with human-written, research-backed content, not just some cheap AI filler. According to the review data from our sources, he's been in the digital information market for over 2 decades. In a space currently flooded with unedited AI generation, a proven human track record is a massive selling point for buyers wanting quality assets to represent their brand.
Let's jump into Section 3, Inside the Survival Guide, Practical versus Extreme. Time to objectively report on what these 200 tips actually entail. What is the reader actually learning?
It becomes super clear right away that the guide leans heavily on practical, everyday advice. We're talking about things like keeping emergency cash at home and staying alert in public spaces, rather than extreme doomsday prepping. For instance, it talks about setting aside small denominations of cash, because, let's face it, digital banking systems can totally fail during a blackout. It also talks about staying near exits in crowded places. This is foundational knowledge anyone can apply, and you need absolutely zero prior survival experience to pull it off.
Distilling down the dense menus from the source material, we can see the guide provides structured frameworks across some highly relevant categories. It covers everything from securing your home and understanding basic survival nutrition, to managing stress-related health issues, to even building a side income stream to recession-proof your finances. It's a really holistic approach to modern uncertainty. It covers the whole shebang.
The guide also takes a highly tactical approach. It offers level-headed advice on the psychology of staying put versus packing up and relocating. It advises you on how to assess risks, how to identify structurally safe zones within your own home, like interior rooms away from windows. And it really stresses that movement always carries risk. It's just incredibly pragmatic stuff.
All right, finally, let's dive into Section 4, Marketing the Crisis Niche, Deployment Strategies. Let's see how all of this builds into actionable business moves.
The review article maps out 6 real-world deployment strategies, which effectively transforms a simple PDF into a versatile monetization and list-building playbook. You don't just have to sell it for cash, though you certainly can. You could use it as a lead magnet, giving away a few chapters in exchange for an email address. Or you could offer it as a free bonus to entice someone to buy a different product through your affiliate link. That flexibility, that is exactly where the true value of a PLR license lies.
Checking out the product specs, it actually earns a really solid 4.4 out of 5 rating from reviewers. A major factor driving that strong rating is the highly recommended optional Canva upgrade, which runs just under $10. The sources point out that this upsell makes visual rebranding completely seamless. You literally just open the file in Canva, drag and drop your own brand colors and logos, and boom, you instantly have a bespoke 200-page digital product fully ready for the market.
To wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a provocative thought about this intersection of societal anxiety and digital entrepreneurship. As long as the news cycle continues to highlight unpredictability, the human desire for structured, practical readiness is only going to grow, right? And for creators who can provide those level-headed frameworks efficiently, the opportunities seem virtually endless. So what do you think? Is practical preparedness the ultimate evergreen market? Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive.